Hi, this is Neil's on Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Buy some silver and some platinum and some crystallized osmium. And be kind, helpful, and grateful. Because it's better than being a jerk. That's not what this is about, though. This is about, well, I'll narrate a little bit on my own through it, but it's to talk about something that's not talked about when we talk about war. And everyone's like, oh, America's weak, America's this, China's great, China's this, China's that. Okay, cool, whatever. Here's a few facts that CNN doesn't push on you that the Chinese are very concerned about, along with several other things. They'll never attack us. But anyhow, here it is. It is from Task and Purpose 21 hours ago. America attacks submarine is a nightmare for China. I probably won't be getting to that part of it.
Instead, like a cow, nothing to see here. The Virginia-class submarine benefited from the explosion of advancements in computer technology in the early 2000s. It was the Navy's first warship built using computer-aided 3D visualization designs. By 2024, they've built 23 of these, with the initial versions
23.
measuring 370.
We have 23 of this one type of submarine. We've got like 4 types of submarines, people. That's more than anyone in the world.
77 feet in length, displacing 7,900 tons. It's the Swiss Army knife of submarines if you enjoy analogies, because it does fleet protection of aircraft carriers, decoy deployment, electromagnetic attacks, or jamming. The Virginia class can destroy enemy subs and surface ships with their 4 21-inch torpedo tubes. Yes, ballistic submarines have torpedoes too, but they aren't used in the same way, as we'll see. That's why there is a race to advance sonars and countermeasures. And submarines' countermeasures are actually pretty weird. There, said it. They shoot out noise and bubble makers that are like submerged versions of the chaff flares that planes fire off. These distract sensors and torpedoes. They can launch up to 12 Tomahawk cruise missiles from their vertical launch cells at targets on shore, something they've done frequently throughout history, including Iraq, Libya, and the Houthis recently, just to name a few. On top of that, the whole time they're dropping mines, if they want. I didn't even notice them dropping those mines, did you? Not sure how people can say my fear of the water is irrational and I have a phobia and I should just get back in and have fun like everyone else when you got those sea mines out there. The Virginia class traces its roots back to the Cold War when submarines were switching from diesel to nuclear power. In the 1980s, U.S. intelligence got word of a new breed of Soviet submarines, like the Sierra class, that could outperform their Los Angeles class in key factors like speed and maximum depth. These next-generation Soviet subs were built with novel technologies like titanium hulls, liquid metal-cooled reactors. This shocked the American intelligence officers because they didn't think that the Soviets could pull that off for another 10 years. But it's like that saying goes, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, I can't get fooled again. That's why in response, the US started development in 1989 of the Seawolf class to replace the Los Angeles class and beat the new stock of Soviet submarines at their own game. Big, advanced, and massively expensive. The Seawolf class cost an estimated $6 billion in today's money to build each one. They were the most expensive submarines ever built by the US Navy. The Navy could justify the cost, though, back then of these beasts because the threat of advanced Soviet submarines lurking just off U.S. shores seemed imminent. But the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 and the end of the Cold War meant that the Seawolf class was canceled after just 3 were completed. This is where the Virginia class comes in. She was envisioned as a cheaper, fast attack sub than compared to the Seawolf. The original cost was only around $1.8 billion. You still could not get me to go underwater in one of those things, even if you put a gun to my head. But admittedly, these subs were becoming more reliable. The Virginia was specially designed with shallow littoral zone seas in mind and higher underwater performance. In a post-Cold War, duking it out in the mid-Atlantic Ocean was less of a priority than securing waters close to shore against short-range diesel-electric submarines or asymmetric threats. Shallow waters carry a lot of different considerations for submarines than deep water, changing everything from how submarines navigate or deploy weapons to how sonar even works. Something that really bugs me out about active sonar is if you're a diver just swimming around peacefully close to a submarine, when it sends out an active ping, that ping can actually kill you. If you're lucky enough to be far enough away, then divers have reported severe headaches and hearing problems when witnessing sonar pulses. As a ground pounder, I feel like it's just another reason we should stay out of the water. The Deep Blue plays by an entirely different set of rules. Officially, it has a dive depth of about 250 meters, 800 feet, but we know the Navy just likes to gaslight us with those numbers, and analysts believe that the sub can reach twice that depth in reality at 500 meters. Powering these dives is a 210 megawatt nuclear reactor, which provides all the electrical juice to field its advanced power-hungry systems that were...
Yeah, take a look at that baby. That thing fits inside a 370-foot submarine. It's called a micro nuclear reactor. This is all the room it takes. This is it. Nothing big. Doesn't take 7 years, 12 years to build. It takes less than 1 year to build. And it's mobile. As you can see, it is in a submarine. Submarines are mobile. This is affixed as an engine to that submarine. But it is an engine. It is a power source, also separate from the submarine. This micro nuclear reactor could power a small city or a large town. It can be transported on the back of an 18-wheeler. They're very inexpensive. And as I said earlier, when they said we had 34 of those submarines, well, we have at least 34 of these things out there. They're very, 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 very safe. That's why I say SMR, small modular and micro reactors, will be the future of energy, because they have been proven to produce 50 years without any issues. No greenhouse emissions, nothing.
We're going to get into. Nom, nom, nom. And why does it matter that you can go to that depth? Operating at different depths allows attack submarines to hide from surface vessels and aircraft, utilizing the ocean's natural sound-absorbing properties to mask their acoustic signatures. Your sonar performance is also influenced by water depth, which can help enhance detection capabilities. When it comes to submarines, perhaps there's nothing more iconic than submarine periscopes, right? Something that's 9 meters long in length.
That's enough. I just wanted to point out how many submarines we have and how many micro nuclear reactors we have in those submarines, and we've had them for decades. Decades. We've had and perfected micro nuclear reactors. It's like $35 million, and you're powering a town of 80,000 people. Believe it or not, that's cheaper than 20,000 households paying $100 a month for 12 months for electric bill, or 1,200 times, 10,000. It's a lot of money. It's a little bit more than buying a micro nuclear reactor and powering your own town. And that's why I say once people realize the advantageousness of this new technology, that's actually not new. It's going to be newly released to us. Eastern Europe has 25 operating SMRs, or actually micro nuclear reactors, for different companies and manufacturers. So they're not concerned about power. They will continue to operate, manufacture, and make money, because they ain't going to have to pay a power bill as expensive as what power is. So when people realize that, money being money, more money will go to the cheaper energy source. The cheapest of energy sources is the micro nuclear reactor. Food for thought. You guys have a nice night.